Morning, guys. I know this is earlier than usual, but like I said, my schedule will be changing because my daughter's schedule changed. When you have a kid that's a top level athlete, your schedule is dictated by theirs. So, come here, sit. So, today's live feed is done early because they're on the ice and I have got to get all my stuff done as far as live feed and workout and all that stuff before they get home. So, chin up, chin up. We got one more pill. You got one more pill. Come on. It's the little one. There you go. Good girl. So, with that being said, that means my schedule's going to change. They're going to be home by 9, which means I got to have my workout done by 9. Usually, I'm still on a live feed at 9. So, it is 6. I only have a 40-minute workout today. So, but with that, that means there's going to be, what's up, Keith? There's going to be less live feeds. There are. And I mean, I pretty much have to do that anyway because I'm hoping to go back to work soon. I really am. The doctor's telling me no, but I'm going to push him. I really want to. Because I'm tired of these. I'm tired of getting these state of California disability checks. I have never taken anything from anyone. I left home when I was 17 years old, and I have not taken a penny from anyone until now because my doctor won't let me work. So, I'm itching. I'm itching to get out of here. So, I'm trying to be optimistic, but I know that he's gonna tell me, he's like, nope, August 1st. So, but yeah, I'll still be putting up and filming videos. I don't have much. Well, no, I got a couple things in here in the last couple days. Well, actually yesterday and the day before. Yeah, last couple days. So yeah, there's gonna be a couple videos. There's gonna be a Holt Spectre video, and don't forget, I'm still sending that Norseman clone off to David at Hiking with a Viking so he can try and destroy it with a bow and arrow. I am going to the shop on Saturday. I may do an Anno video, and I gotta do the finish on that knife. Yeah, I want to see him hit that. They're like 750 grain fucking field tips. He told me he could see the drop, like on his 65-pound draw bow. He could see the drop in his garage. Like he could see the arrow drop with those heavy arrowheads. And he's like, but it went like way farther in the target. Oh no, he's, like I said, he's basically a professional bow hunter. I mean, that's what he does. That's what he does with all of his time. I keep telling him he's got to put it. He did a hog hunt. And he goes, yeah, I got to finish getting that hog hunt video put up. And I was like, well, just fucking get it done, dude. This is the guy that has paying members he promised a sharpening tutorial for, and he's done one video of. That's harder than you'd think. Those coke hogs. I saw that. My buddy sent me a thing, and he was talking. It was a warthog had gotten into a campsite in Australia, and drank a crate of beer, like fucking like 60 beers, had torn into them and drank them, and then was attacking people and shit. And he goes, dude, that's your spirit animal, a drunk angry warthog. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. Oh, guys, today is Wednesday. So if you're watching this, today's Wednesday the 17th, I believe. Yep, 17th. Made my mortgage payment under the wire. Paid it off on the 10th. Made my mortgage payment on the 10th. On tomorrow. Jesus, it's fucking early. I've been up since 4:30. Tomorrow, I will be doing a podcast with Knife Junkie. I'm going to be on the Knife Junkie podcast. So if you guys listen to the podcast, you guys should everybody should listen to the podcast. I talked to Bob yesterday. He seems like a great guy. He wanted some background information. I gave him enough I gave him enough ammo. He can ask some questions that I can talk on. Yeah, it's 6. I've been up for a couple hours. Took the dog for a walk. I already got everything ready. I got my PT clothes on. PT clothes. In case you guys know, I got my workout clothes on underneath this. But it's 62 degrees, and it's only about 4 degrees warmer than that in the house because we had windows open and fans on all night last night because I like to change the air in the house at night because the air during the day here in San Diego is fairly dirty. So during the day, the house gets dirty, but at night, when it cools down, there's enough moisture in the air, it settles down a lot of that dust and everything, and then change the air in the house. You guys would be surprised. We have to vacuum so often. And on top of that, fucking the landscapers used goddamn leaf blowers like right around our privacy shields into our patios and into our garages and all down the street. And that's the first thing. If I get elected to the HOA, that's the first thing I'm gonna change. No more fucking leaf blowers around the houses. Open areas, that's fine. But around windows and shit, man, you know how many times I've come into that bedroom and they have run a leaf blower right under my bedroom window with a fan in it? I don't know if you know this. It gets dust on everything. What's somebody else doing? Now that that's it. That's all I had. That's how these live feeds work. You know what I was still gonna do it. We're gonna select the winner in the members only giveaway. And then I will post that up to them. I did not review the sous vide machine, but I'm going to tell you, I really like it. And if you're watching, to the individual that gave it to me, that SusVidi thing that you got me, is pretty handy. A stropping how-to video. That's all going to, like I said, that's all going to be in that sharpening tutorial. Part 1 went up, and I was just talking about fixtured systems. Not like tearing into them, just like, hey, a fixtured system might be the way to go for you for sharpening kind of thing. You know, just letting you know the limitations and all that. So I did that one. I started shooting. I've tried to shoot them a couple times. They just never seem to come out the way I want, and so I scrap them. I started shooting one that I talk about different stones. And what always happens is I do those videos. Yeah, okay. I like that. The thing that happens when I start shooting those videos is I'll start and I'm like, oh, I'll do it a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then I can edit and break it up. It never works out that way. I pretty much just need to shoot 15-minute videos. I don't know if you've noticed like how close most of my videos are at the 15-minute mark. That's not intentional. It just happens. That's just how my videos wind up being. They wind up being like right at 15 minutes, regardless. Like every knife review, every day, I was like, oh, I'll try and keep this one short, maybe do a 10-minute video. Nope, always going to be 15 minutes. I don't know how that works out. And like I said, it's not an intentional thing. It just happens. YouTube Studio. Oh, hey, there I am. My schedule will be changing. Watching live. 8 people with only 3 likes. I have got to YouTube Studio. I can't remember everybody's names that are members. I know a lot of them. And weird things are happening with I don't know if you've been watching, like my subscriber count goes up and it goes, well, I did I did say in that Norseman video that I hope you find a different channel if you support clones, but that I'm fine with that. Let's see. I can look and see how many. I can look at the analytics of that video. This digressed. Nope, I only lost 1 subscriber. So it's something else I said. That video is doing way better than most of the other videos. So if you have a YouTube channel, you have to watch your analytics. I'm going to do a video about that probably for David. It's predominantly for David, but it just lets you look at, as I am actually trying to bring this up, my members. It's just not coming up the way I want as quickly. Let's see here. Oh, hey. I have got to make change because there are 2 new members. Dr. Mark is a member now, and so is Quixotiles. I can't pronounce that. I know it's Quixotle was, I believe he was a South American deity. I don't remember. But we got Dr. Mark is 1. Quixie, which is, that's just how I'm gonna write it. Quixie is number 2. Chana, then Frank, then Simon. This is how I'm basically doing the giveaway. I'm picking the giveaway winner right now. And for those of you that have complained about the fan, it's so dusty in San Diego. You have no idea how dusty it is. I clean my ceiling fans pretty regularly. They just, when they're on, hey, Steve, I'm actually assigning everyone numbers for your the members only giveaway. As a matter of fact, Steve was honestly the next name that came down. Steve, Luigi. Wouldn't it be funny if he had a brother named Mario? Luigi, Luke, Drew, okay, Locke, Luke, Locke, Drew, Metalman, Dwayne. I need to get a hold of him. Dwayne, Alex, and Hiking. So these are all of the channel paying members right here. And there's 14 of them, so we got 2 new ones at the very top. And I am assigning everyone a number 1 through 14. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, the problem is, I've got to get everyone checking the community tab because that's where I'm going to announce this. And there's people what is the community tab? I don't know how to find that. I'm going to show you. So let's close this. I can't show you that. I can't show you my monetization, my amounts. So when you go to my channel, this is my actual channel. You're going to see, got it. You're going to see this row of things. Home, videos, playlists, community. Community right there is where you're going to find all of the stuff. If you're a member, that's where you're going to find all your early access stuff. That's where you're going to find posts that I put up, just random things. The other day I didn't feel good, so I wasn't doing a live feed. I can probably take this one down because it's going to confuse people. But then you'll see all the announcements of early access. You guys can see, early access for members, easy, quick little posts. That was a sunset the other day. So that's where you're going to find that stuff if you happen to be a member. And if you want to be a member, right there. But the fact is, if you go to my videos, we'll just pull one of them up. Let's see, did I put it? I know it's in this one. So you pull it up. Let me pause this. And if you happen to be in the description, it's right there as well to join if you want. Not saying you have to, I'm just saying it's there. So I'm going to pull up a random number generator. Random number generator. Random number generator. So let's turn this around so everybody can see. Minimum of 1, maximum of 14. Everybody on here. And here we go. It is number 2. So, Quixotic tails, DuckTales, whatever, however you want to. I don't know how to pronounce that. You won. You won the Edge Pro. Not without the stones. Now, the flip side of that is if you happen to be overseas or in Canada or Mexico, I'm not going to ship it unless you're willing to pay the shipping. I just can't afford. I can't afford to send. That thing's heavy and it's a big box. That would be like $60 to send it anywhere other than the United States. It's almost $30 to send it here in the States. So, winner, chicken dinner. It was a random number generator. Brand new member, first giveaway wins. Why don't I do this more often and sit down during my live feeds? This is great. So that's out of the way. I'm going to post that up. I can do that. I don't have to do that now. What do you guys want to talk about? I said this might be the last live feed for a little while. I don't know what the rest of the week's going to look like. I probably am not going to do one. Today is Wednesday. I'm probably not going to do one on Friday because I know what my workout's going to look like. I know what my workout is today, and I'm happy about it because it's arm day, and I love arm day. I've got to wear like chest day too. I really did chest hard the other day. So for sharpening stuff, if you guys have got stuff, there's 2 days of the week that I just won't sharpen, and that's Mondays and Wednesdays. Those are my heavy weight day workouts, and when I'm done, I'm spent, like my arms are all shaky. There is no way I could go out there and sharpen. I did some sharpening yesterday. Yesterday was a leg day, legs only. So like my upper body wasn't blown out. Morning. I just picked a members exclusive giveaway. Guys, I sent off the 3-item giveaway to Will Horn the other day. I want to do another giveaway for you guys, and I want your take on it for your non-paying members. This is for everybody, members and non-members, just all subscribers, all 4,600 of you. Would you guys want this as the next giveaway? Or do you want something else? I have those other knives. This just got sharpened too, by the way, and it's nasty. It's nasty sharp. D2 takes a super nice edge if it's done well. Bestech did do a really good job on this knife. I'm not gonna lie. Upset with Bestech with the whole thing that happened with VDK, but I'm not gonna argue that this is a really nice knife. It kind of changed the way it feels in hand. It's got a really neat. It's lively now. It's really light in hand. So, guys, what do you want to talk about? Don't just leave me up here. And if you're enjoying the live, please leave a like. If you can. I do know that a lot of guys are at work and listening on their phones or driving and listening. the only thing I'm looking forward to is I worked out a deal with the guys at Monterey Bay Knives. A, uh, I'm getting a EWC from Monterey Bay in my Carta. I actually got to cut. I got to get a hold of him. He said it should be coming in the next week or so. So I want to find out. That's why it's part of the reason I quit drinking. That's one of the reasons I quit drinking. I wanted to have that money available instead of spending like $30, $40 at a time. He's going to hold a couple, one for me, one for Nico, as a thank you for the video we did. And I was like, you don't really have to thank me. That knife is great, but I'll take the thank you. So Nico and I are getting the micarta ones. But the steel in the new production knife, I believe Blade West is going to happen. I'm planning on that. We're probably going to go. The steel in the new knife is a proprietary steel. I do know what it's kind of close to. It's called the Sea Snake. So I know what it's close to, and it's gonna be a good performing steel. It's a steel I used to like. Spyderco used it for a while, and then it kind of just disappeared, and not a lot of people are using it anymore. So they have not released they haven't released the components yet. They haven't released like the recipe yet, like what the percentages of everything are, but it's going to be one of those steels that's a good performing steel for a budget knife. You're getting a really, really good steel. Spyderco used to use the other, like the closest comparison to it. Spyderco used to use it, and I liked it then. But it's one of those steels that, like, is it a great steel? No, it's not a great steel. It's not. Is it a top level performing steel? It's going to be a pretty good performing steel. But like the thing is, it's a proprietary blend. It's going to be ZMAX. No, I don't think so. I don't know what ZMAX is. I'd have to look at that. So it's going to be a good corrosion resistant steel. It's going to have a lot of carbon and chromium, so you get some good carbides. There's going to be an overabundance of chromium that is allowed to come to the surface, so you get a fairly stainless knife. I mean, it's for what it's made for. It's going to be a steel that holds an edge really well, and it should get a fairly nasty crispy edge on it with the amount of chromium and carbon that are in it. That's going to form a lot of good carbides. So, and it's a powdered steel, so it's going to be more evenly distributed. It's going to be, yeah. So it's a PM. It's a powdered metallurgy, and it is like 9 elements in the steel mix. That's why it's called RPM 9. It's artisan. It's ARPM 9. So, which is artisan rare powdered metals 9. Yeah, there we go. That's because that's 20 CV. You think that one has? Is it a production one? The production Stonefish, or do you have one of my customs? Because if you think the production ones hold an edge, you should see the fucking customs. They are about 2 or 3 points higher on the Rockwell. And like I said, that is not for me. I really don't care about that Rockwell number, but what I do care about are the other numbers that went along with that. So we looked at that scale, and when you heat treat it in-house the way that we do it, it's at that maximum. It's where all the lines intersect. When you follow that heat treat chart, there's a point where they all just intersect, and you get your maximum hardness, maximum wear resistance, maximum impact resistance, and they all intersect at one point, and that's at the 2200 degree mark. So 2200 degrees and then quench, and then 1000-degree temper cycle, two of them. 2000-degree temper cycles. So it's basically one is a secondary hardening cycle. So you get the maximum out of it. That double soak, and I mean they're long temper cycles, so they're it's a 2x2, so 2 hours times two. Or is it 4 hours? I don't know. I've got my little notebook that has my heat treat on it. So same thing with S125V. It's a temper. It's a soak temper. We get this is at its maximum. This is a nightmare. If you guys get a knife done by me, if you happen to have one of the original sea snakes in S125V, good luck sharpening it. Good luck. That's all I can say. You're gonna fucking the second you get ready to put that on. So Jeremy Morris has got both the Scorpion version and the sea snake, the drop point and the warning. And I'm just waiting for him to tell me that he tried to sharpen it. I haven't had anyone try to sharpen theirs yet. Matt has one, this one. There's a couple other ones out there in S125V that I've made, and I'm like, dude, like, it's you better pack lunch. Like, it's a fucking nightmare to sharpen because, like I said, we took it to its maximum wear resistance, impact, and hardness on S125V. It's a fucking beast. It takes more belts. I can grind a stonefish in 20 CV with house heat treat, the maximum. And that's a big knife. And I use probably half the belts it took to make this knife, this little one. It is insane. S125V is insane. I love S125V. Once it's done. Once it's done and it's sharp. And then I'm like, God, I love this. It cuts well. I mean, it's insane. It's all the stuff leading up to the point that it's actually done. And you can say, hey, it's done and it's sharpened and it's finished. And you're like, yay. But up till then, once it's done, it's great. Until then, you're like, why? Why did I do this? Why did I decide I wanted to make knives in this? But, like, they hold an edge forever. So, this is my pre-workout. I drink coffee as a pre-workout, so it's pretty strong. I'm gonna do some. Oh, glad I'm thinking. None of my shaker bottles are clean. Neither one of them. So Blade Show West, I'm probably going to Blade West. We've talked a couple times, me and the Fiberlight Firestarter guys, me and Artisan. I was actually on the hook to go to Atlanta for Blade, and then Artisan decided to cancel their table. So I'm planning that we're probably going to be able to go to Blade West. What's up, Mark? So if you're new members, and yeah, it's supposed to happen like the 7th and 8th. So, and if you guys know your history, that's also the date. One of those is the date that they dropped one of their bombs on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I don't remember which. The 8th was the day. I think it's the 8th. I think it was my sister's birthday, August 8th, that they dropped one of the atomic bombs on Japan. So I'm not making a protein shake yet, but I don't like warm. Well, in all honesty, it's like that. I look at it like that guy that shot at the protester, or shot the protester that attacked him with a skateboard. I equate it to like that. Like, okay, you kind of picked that fight. You kind of poked that bear. My wife's Japanese. My in-laws are Japanese. I love Japan. I love 90% of the Japanese people I know. But in all honesty, you don't get to be butthurt over that. You picked that fight. Let's see. What was that? Somebody said something. Oregon is supposed to open end of September. I've been to both of the war memorials, in Japan, the sites for both of the bombings, and I'm gonna tell you right now, those weren't no little bombs. I've been to one in Nagasaki and in Hiroshima. I went to both of them. Went to the one in Nagasaki with some younger friends. I had a car, and I was like, "Have you been to the Peace Park?" I was like you, as a military member in a foreign country, you should, if they have a memorial to a battle or something like that with us, you should go. You should definitely go. It's part of the history. You're in the military, and you are, you should go. So I took these two, I took these two young kids with me to the Nagasaki Peace Park, and it hit them hard. Like the couple times the guys were in tears. I mean, it's an emotional thing. It really is to see the effects of the war that we waged. Both of them. It's sickening. It really is. But it's part of our history, and we need to embrace our history. Because if we don't embrace our history and we forget it, then we repeat the mistakes of the past. So we went, and I took these two kids, and we had just got there, and there's a big like lobby area at the one in Nagasaki, and they were talking about skateboarding. Now, I'm with two very obvious young members of the military. We all were very obviously military. We're the only Americans there. Haircuts, the way you walk, just body in general, just it shows that you're in the military. And one of these kids was talking about skating, and he was talking about doing acid drops off of a car. And his skateboard went out from under him. And he's like, yeah, and I landed, and that board went out from under me. I landed on my back like, boom! And I'm like, oh my God. And everyone turns and looks. And I wanted to be that big. I wanted to walk under a bench and hide because I got these two idiots with me. And I'm like, you fucking morons. And luckily I was able to explain it because one of the like ushers was coming to escort us out. And I explained to him in Japanese. I was like, it was a mistake. They were talking about something else. I made them apologize. And I was like, we'll stand off to the back and wait for the next group to come through because it was a busy day and they had it like it was done in groups of people. And I was like, you stupid motherfucker, dude. So that was, in retrospect, it's funny. You can tell the story and be like, that's funny. But being there, I have never honestly been that embarrassed, I don't think, in my entire life. I've taken my clothes off in public and I was more embarrassed because of the actions of those two idiots than I ever was anything I ever did myself. Awkward. And it was because I was responsible for them. I took them with me. We were in my car, and I was the senior man present, and it was just one of those days. It was like he asked me very nicely if I could inform them that it was inappropriate, and I told him yes, I understand. This was not long before I met my wife. I had been in for 8 years or so. Coming up, I'd been in for 6 or 8. I was on shore duty. That's what it was. I was on shore duty, and we had just gotten off duty. And these kids were like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, just go back to the barracks. And I was like, why have you guys been around town or anything? They were in my duty section. I was their section leader. I was like, you guys been around town or anything? And I was like, have you seen anything? And I think we went to the Nagasaki Peace Park, and I took them to Hirado Castle. There's a museum there for like samurai stuff, just some cultural immersion. That's the only way you can survive if you go to one of those small bases overseas. You just have got to immerse yourself in the culture. You cannot just stay on base. You can't just stay in your barracks room and watch movies at the base theater. A lot of those bases. This base was so small for our mile-and-a-half PFT run. We had to run from the gym to the other end of the base and back. That was a mile and a half. Like the full length of base and back was a mile and a half. It was a tiny base. You can't spend 4 years just there. So I took a lot of the young kids out and got them into, not just like, oh, let's go drinking, like actually going out and going places and seeing things. There was a lot of, everybody's like, oh, Sasebo sucks, it's such a small town. There was a ton of stuff to do in that small town. Not gonna lie to you. Huge arcades. Like they had a place called Sega World. No, that wasn't built yet. That wasn't built yet. I left Japan in 2005, 2006. 2006. I left Japan in 2006 and immediately went to Iraq for a fucking tour in Iraq. Like we landed in my parents' house. I had a month. We drove across the country. I got here. I checked into my command. I checked in my unit on the 5th of July. On the 20th of July, I was on a C7 headed to a really dusty, hot place. So, and then I came back and then I went back. That was my second trip. My first one was 14 months. My second one was 6. And then I did a couple 2-monthers here and there where I'd go just for training. I was a crew serve weapon. I was a machine gun instructor, so I had to go qualify our guys. There's a qualification process, and so I would have to go for training. We had parts of our unit. The other thing I did was had reserve units, and I had to go train them as well. So I drove from San Diego to El Paso a bunch of times. So if you've ever been to El Paso, you've probably heard of the Cattleman's Ranch. I think it's like exit. I forget what the exit is. It's off of the 8 or the 10. It's off the 10 at like exit 97 or some shit. And you get off, and that's the only thing out there is Cattleman's Ranch Steakhouse. So, God, I love that place. It's been on TV a bunch of times. Yeah, I had to drive out to El Paso once. So, it was fun. I can't, like, it sucks. Like, everybody's like, dude, you were away from your wife for 14 months. It's like, yeah, but, like, the time we got to spend together was great. I have been to White Sands. I have. I think the only reason we went to White Sands was the ammo pickup, though. An ammo transfer. We couldn't wait on a bonded courier, so we sent... No, that was Nylon. That's when we got ammo from the SEALs. We went to Nylon. So that was in Arizona. Or Nevada. Yeah. Because we fell under Spec War, so we got ammo from Spec War. So we needed training ammo. They had an overabundance. We borrowed ammo. We expended ammo. We did an ammo transfer and expended that ammo. And then when we got our training allowance that we were waiting on training ammo to come. And so we borrowed ammo from the SEALs, and then we basically we transferred the same amount of ammo back once our training allowance came in. So fucking everywhere out there, sunburns. Last time Nico and I were in Vegas, I didn't leave the hotel. It was like 100 and something degrees the entire time. Like Will Touch, for my birthday dinner, Will was like, dude, let's just go over to here. Let's go over to here. The buffet. I was like, yeah, but like, I don't want to take an Uber. Everybody's right here already. There's like 5 of us. And I was like, we're not all going to fit in an Uber. We'd have to take 2 Ubers or we'll have to walk. And I was like, I don't even like the idea of going outside. I was like, it's 9 o'clock at night and it's a fucking 108 degrees outside. I have no urge, and Will was like, I got to go outside. We got done with dinner, and Will Touch was like, I have to go outside. I got to get out of here. I got to go outside for a little bit, take a walk. And I was like, all right, Bo, you take it easy. You enjoy that. I fucking not doing it. So, yeah. Well, we picked a winner. Like I say, Quixotle Tails, DuckTales, whatever you want to go by. You won. So if you happen to log in to this, you won, and I'm going to put that up in a post. There's a video that will go live tomorrow. It's going to be, I think it's going to be that Nick Chirpin Mark 1. And then I got to film some stuff. There's a B-roll video that's going to go up. It's old stuff. That was not necessarily B-roll. That was just old footage of just me and Nico I'm sorry, me, Matt, and Elliot goofing off in the shop. I had just got off work. Matt had just got off work. Traffic was horrible. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon. We were like, let's just hang out at the shop for a little bit, and we can hang out at the shop for a little bit with Elliot, and then head home at like 7 when traffic's not a nightmare. So there's that. There's like, I've got a bunch of stuff shot. The members get to see it like immediately. So I've got some stuff I got to do for YouTube though today. Now I've got to edit the intro so that the two new Dr. Mark and Quixie get added in. So yeah, unless you guys, any of you guys, well, let's see, I see the numbers are dropping off. So, and I mean, that makes sense. It's like 7:45. I have not looked at the composition yet. I just, come on, you guys know how I feel about Spyderco right now. It's going to get worse. It's getting worse because Sal and Eric have two definite different styles of what they want out of that company. Sal was about producing quality high-end products, and from what I'm seeing from the way Eric is running Spyderco is, I don't want anybody to get offended. I can't honestly say, but the way it feels is like, fuck the customer, I want to make money. They used to, even when their stuff was bad, they were still putting out, like, yeah, their grinds and stuff were bad, but like the more that I see that Sal is stepping away and Eric is stepping in, the more I see like quality dropping, but I'm not seeing any commensurate drop in price. So the last two Spydercos that I had come in, they were like, by the time you got an action that did not feel like, you're like, holy shit, I hope I don't have to open this in an emergency. By the time you loosened that pivot, you had such horrible blade play. It's hard to explain it, but like the mainspring on a couple of them, I looked at the face where it wasn't even, it looked like they torch cut it and then just never even tried to clean it up. And you just feel that rocker arm rolling on the back of the spine of the knife in that area right in here, and you just feel it pushing on. You're like, holy shit. I actually took one to the shop and I just hit it on the Scotch-Brite because it felt like it was trying to cut metal off of the rocker area of the fucking blade, and I was like, this is horrible. So yeah, not real impressed. Benchmade, actually, I'm not gonna lie, they're still bad. Like I did that knife yesterday for Keith, and it was bad, but it definitely was not as badly ground as some of the others. But I will tell you, as a matter of fact, I'll just go get it. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff. Hang on a second, guys. I got a text. Don't go anywhere. I'm not leaving. I got a text. I got to look at it real quick. It's from my wife. Sorry. She was just letting me know that they're gonna be back. at about 9:30 or 10. So they want me to have my workout stuff done. My wife wants me to have the workout done because my wife and daughter are going to lay down and take a nap when they get back. And those rings that I use for working out, when I'm working out, they slap against the door and make a lot of noise. So if I don't get my workout done before they get home, I have to wait till after their nap. So I got this Griptilian in with some stuff that is just here for content. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Steve, I'll put that up as a post. Let me get this other light on real quick for you so you can see it. It's the grind on it. Can you see that? There's a distinct low spot right here that I just could not, and you can see it even after I sharpen it. There's a distinct low spot in that blade right there. And then you can see it. Hang on a second, let me get this down here where it's going to actually focus for me. Can you see it? There's a low spot there, but then there's some really deep, like in the grind right there, really deep lines that went all the way to the edge, and I had to sharpen those out. It was if you watched the live feed that I did on Instagram yesterday, if you watched it, I was having a hard time getting this knife sharp, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It's 100% that edge has got low spots in it. And that's a pretty new knife. That's not like it's that's something that the owner did. No, that's definitely a factory thing. And when you can feel a little bit of a difference in that hollow where it gets thick and then thin. So, yeah. Bro, it's the world we live in, man. I'm never more than like 2 steps from a firearm if I'm not wearing it. I take my SIG because my SIG Sauer is kind of more compact. My SIG Sauer is my open carry. I put it in a holster, and I put a magazine in my hip pocket, and I put the gun in a holster, and I open carry it. And people are like, "Wow, that's part of the problem." Da 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 da. I was like, I got news for you. You know how polite people are to you when you're fucking armed? And I know my Europeans are like, "That's stupid. That is stupid. We don't have guns over here." And I'm like, yeah, you know what? But like, here's the thing: you're not even allowed to carry a fucking knife. But yet knife crime and murders and everything are on the rise. I was like, I just personally prefer to be able to, like, well, what do you need a gun for? I was like, if you've ever done law enforcement, military or otherwise, the ladder of force, the force continuum, you always are 1 step above on the ladder. So if he comes at you swinging, you use less than lethal. If you can deploy it. Pepper spray, baton, taser. I don't like taser. They were touted as being so good, but it's like they don't work. 90% of the time, they don't work. So if he happens to come at you with an impact weapon, such as a stick, you always stay 1 step above. That's how you go home at night. So if you come at me with a stick, I'm going to put a hole in you. I mean, I'm going to try and talk you out of it, because I'll be like, hey, I'm going to put a hole in you if you don't put that stick down. I definitely, like, everybody's like, oh, you're just a gun happy, gun nut. I was like, there's a good chance you break into my house. I'm going to talk you down, and I'm going to put you in cuffs, and I'm going to wait for the police to show up. I don't need that on my conscience. I got enough shit that I dream about for having been in the military. But it definitely does allow me to de-escalate that situation with a force multiplier. And if you come at me, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm 46 years old almost. I can't tussle around like I used to. I couldn't. If 2 guys came in this house, I couldn't fight off 2 guys by myself anymore. I don't think I got it in me. I'm broken and busted. But guess what? I can definitely take one of them out of the mix and put the other one on the ground and cuff him, and I will not lose one bit of sleep about it. But people are like, "Oh, why do the cops have to do that?" That's how you're trained. You have to stay one level above. They didn't need to. They didn't need to pepper spray him. I'm not going to talk about any except the one in is it Georgia? Was it Georgia where they shot the guy outside of the Wendy's? I 100%, having done law enforcement, I'm like that would have been a clean shoot. 90% of the places. They're like, because if that guy shoots you with that taser, incapacitates you, takes your firearm, 5 seconds is a long time. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. That's 5 seconds. 5 seconds that he could be kicking your head in, taking your weapon, and doing a lot of other things. That's what tasers are set for. 5 second ride. That's the shortest. If he happened to have his shit set for a 10 second ride, that's a long time, guys, for you to be incapacitated if he can make contact with it. Wearing a vest and stuff, less of a chance, but you can still get tased. You get a probe in two places that are unprotected, and you're incapacitated. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been tased, and it's unpleasant, and there's nothing you can do if they get a good probe placement. So that one, I 100% believe that they should never have done anything with that cop. I don't see, he took violent action against a police officer. And the other thing too is like, everybody's like, well, the DA's like, deadly force wasn't warranted, da 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 da. The taser's not a deadly weapon. But 2 weeks before that, when they fired some cops for tasing, they charged police officers with aggravated assault. And in Georgia, aggravated assault has to be conducted with a deadly weapon. So by default, by him charging those officers with aggravated assault, he set a precedence that a taser is a deadly weapon. You can't have both ways. You can't talk out both sides of your mouth just to appease people. 90% of these protesters, 95% of these protesters absolutely agree with them. It's that other 5 to 10% that come in and just ruin it. Like, they had the entire world's ear. Everybody was on their side. Everyone, cops, legislators, everyone. And then they decided to burn down Minneapolis. You do your cause no favors when you do things like that. When you let these Antifa members get involved and start taking charge, and then the looting starts. And once it starts, it's a cascading thing. Mob rule. It happens. And it's just sad that they had a perfect chance. It's sad that someone had to die to provide them that chance. But they had a perfect chance to make a change because everyone was listening. And they pissed on it. They pissed on it. And I blame the protesters. Because when you saw it start to happen as a protester, you should have taken an active stance against the violence that was going on. Because just like mob rule with the violence, you can swing it the other way. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen things start to go bad, and all it takes is a couple of adults to say, hey, bring it down. You're doing us no good. Either go somewhere else, or, this is, but then people flip out because now cops are on edge. Because once things turn into a riot and things have become violent, the whole dynamic of that situation changes. Now the cops are more worried about their own safety than your protest. And they tell people to disperse, and they don't disperse. They still have a job to do, whether you like it or not. And it's just sad. It's sad that it digressed to a point now. And then the flip side of it too is everybody wants to fight against the racism of like black people are criminals and this and that, which I absolutely don't believe. Most of my friends are either black, Mexican, or Japanese. I don't have that racist thing in me. I grew up in the military. But the thing is that happens. It does happen. because that's a perception, and you can't break a stereotype by falling into it. And so, if that's what publicity you get, that's what everyone's going to see. I just would like to see as much outrage over black on black crime as I see in this. It's sad. It is sad, and I hate to see our country going down a path where we allow ratings to rule what winds up on TV. My daughter was scheduled to be on Fox News here in San Diego, but you know what? Good news, good things don't get ratings. Watch your news. I'm telling you, the things that they, and I'm not trying to say fake news and this and that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in the days of Walter Cronkite and things like that, when we had actual news and it wasn't a ratings thing, it used to be news did not have to fight for ratings. Ratings was not a thing for the news. They were exempt from that. And once that changed, the sensationalism and journalism and things like that really took hold. And yes, I agree that they are not putting out a lot of fake news. There is some, I will admit, there always is. But the fact is that they realized quick that the sensational things, murders, riots, bombings, that's what gets people attention. No one wants to see the 80-year-old guy that won the lottery. No one wants to see a story about a girl that is coming from a family that has of limited means and is competing with the girls that are coming from independently wealthy families, like my daughter. The good feel-good stories don't get the ratings. That's when people get up and go get coffee. Oh, I'll get some coffee while they're talking about that. I want to see what's happening in Libya. It's sad. It's sad that that's the way it went. And I think the best thing we could do for this country is to take the news back out of the ratings thing. They don't have to worry about ratings. The news is the news. They don't fall into that Nielsen, what do you watch thing. And 24-hour news channels, they need to go. Go back to just the news. Local news at 6. National news at 7. Local news at 10. National news at 11. That's how I grew up. That's the news I used to see. There was no national 24-hour a day news channel, because the thing is, they run out of things to show. And so they find things. And it's always going to be the negative shit. And it just cascades. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. And I stood here and talked about it for like 20 minutes. It's just frustrating. And it comes from a place of not understanding this. I get it. Did I tell you guys I had to make a police report because there was some teenagers that were throwing stuff at my car and dented the shit out of my car? I had to make a police report because they were calling me honky, cracker, all that shit, throwing fucking shit at my car. And I had to make a police report because they dented the fuck out of my car. And you know what I was doing? I was buying groceries for my mixed race family. I get it. I know that I'm a cracker looking motherfucker. I get it. But you can't judge a book by its cover. It's unfair. It's as unfair to judge everyone that's white that looks like this as a racist as it is for me to see a guy with a bandana and his pants sagging and immediately think he's a gang member. And every bit as bad to look at someone in a police officer's uniform and immediately think that they're a racist that's trying to just try to find a way to beat someone down and pull them out of a car and beat them. They're all social biases, and people have them, but coming from the military, you don't get to have those. You don't. It's such a diverse thing. So, and a lot of that comes from my dad too. My dad taught me growing up, people are people. It doesn't like don't judge people until you know them. So that's just my take on it. I figured I'd end it there. It's been an hour, guys. I have got to warm up, and I got to get warmed up and start working out before the wife and kid leave the ice rink. I want to have that done. I'm going to Chris and Elliot's. I'm going to Chris's house and pick up some knives from him for sharpening. I have Saturday. I may film. I may take my tripod and stuff up to the shop on Saturday and film because I will be working on some knife stuff. I actually think I'm going to start on a knife. Alex has a knife that I'm supposed to start on for him. So yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around and listening to me. If you haven't already dropped a like, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, we'll log out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm not going to talk about that 20 minutes later. I'm still pontificating about. Is there a way? There is. I can do it without getting my finger in the thing. All right, guys. Love y'all, and I'll talk to you later.